Are you looking for the best Motorola phones? In this video we will look at some of the 5 best phones on the market. Before we get started with our video, we have included links in the description, so make sure you check those out to see which one is in your budget range. Starting at number 1. Motorola Edge 40 Pro. The best Motorola phone overall is the Motorola Edge 40 Pro, the brand's current flagship device. Boasting a powerful Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 processor, a crisp OLED display, and a massive amount of local storage, it's a serious piece of kit, offering some real competition to the latest Google Pixel and Samsung devices. Better still, there are plenty of color options available, including Eclipse Black, Luna Blue, Nebula Green, and Viva Magenta. Along with a list of impressive features, the Edge 40 Pro is incredibly quick to charge, juicing back up to 100% battery power in less than half an hour thanks to 125W charging. If that wasn't practical enough, this device is also impressively durable, with water and scratch resistance that hold up against some of the less feature-heavy devices from our list of picks for the best rugged smartphone. With how impressive this phone is, we have to get a bit pedantic to pick out any faults. However, it is worth noticing that the camera here just isn't as good as what's on offer from the flagship devices of brands like Samsung or Apple. So if you're something of an amateur photographer with your smartphone, you might have to keep looking. The Edge 40 Pro can also be a bit tricky to clean, but if you use a case, that's less of an issue. At number 2. Motorola Razr 40 Ultra. The best foldable Motorola phone available right now is the Razr 40 Ultra by some margin. It might be on the expensive side, but most flip phones are, and for that price, you're getting a quality build and a screen that pops with color thanks to the LTPO AMOLED display. It's a little limited on colors, with just Viva Magenta, Glacier Blue, and Infinite Black to choose from, but each finish is sleek and looks as expensive as it is. An upgraded hinge compared to old Razr models means you don't have to worry about falling a few millimeters short of the full fold, with this version easily fitting inside your pocket. The foldability doesn't mean a sacrifice elsewhere, though, with a stellar battery life that takes its sweet time running down, and the performance is more than enough to play your favorite games, even if the Snapdragon 8 Plus processor is already a little outdated. The caveat here is that if you're not a fan of foldable phones, there's little this model does compared to others to convert you. It's also important to note that the camera is a little lackluster in the Razr 40 Ultra, and stands out as the only component that doesn't feel as high quality as it should for the price of the device. At number 3. Motorola Moto G31. The Motorola Moto G31 is the best budget Motorola phone available, retailing at a significantly lower price than the rest of the options on this list. It's a bit more basic compared to others on this list, but that's not always a bad thing if you're just looking for a smartphone that covers the essentials without breaking the bank, while also offering a little more than the budget offerings from other Android brands. The battery on the G31 is better than anything you're going to get for under $200, offering up to 36 hours of juice if you're just using it for the essentials. The AMOLED screen is the star of the show, though, offering a high-quality visual display that rivals some mid-range mobiles that retail for double or more the price of the G31. Still, as you might anticipate from one of Motorola's lowest price offerings, it's not all impressive. While the G31 boasts multiple cameras, none of them are all that impressive, and they really struggle under low light. There's also a lack of 5G, which wasn't as much of a problem on launch back in 2021, but already feels increasingly antiquated. At number 4. Motorola Defy. The best rugged Motorola phone is the Motorola Defy, which is purpose-built to withstand the sort of pressure and application most smartphones can't. It doesn't have all the bells and whistles of a more expensive model, but if you need something you can rely on to survive, there are few better options across all manufacturers. As you might expect from a rugged phone, the Motorola Defy is resistant to scratches, drops, water, and dust. Simply put, it really takes a beating to break this one. It's not just practical in terms of durability, though, with ideal dimensions for slipping in your pocket and solid battery life. The main issue with the Defy is that its camera quality is pretty poor for a smartphone in the year 2024. It also feels a little cheap, though this only really matters if you value sleek ergonomics over durability, and if you're even looking at this phone we're guessing you don't. This is very much a practical phone, targeted at those who can't stand the thought of another smashed screen or waterlogged device. Finally, it's worth saying there are no fancy color options here, so if you don't want a plain black phone, you may have to continue your search. At number 5. Motorola Moto G Power 5G. The best Motorola phone for battery life is easily the Motorola G Power 5G. This thing stays in the game for just over 48 hours without any problems at all, making it even further than that if you're not using it too intensively. If you value battery life above all else in a smartphone, this might be the best of the list so far for you. Considering this device is just a little more expensive than the G31, it's got some pretty impressive specs when it comes to visuals and performance to make it an attractive budget proposition, while also including 5G capabilities. The storage is as generous as you're going to find for the price point, with 256 gigabytes of space to fill to your heart's content with apps and games. The big issue with the Moto G Power is a lack of an IP water and dustproof rating. Motorola says this phone is water repellent, but that's not enough to fill me with confidence regarding any accidental splashes or, worse still, a full-on submersion. The cameras are also lacking lightly, so if you're a happy snapper you might have to think about saving to increase your budget or looking at a different brand.